Hey everyone, thank you for joining me today. Today's topic is living into a new health identity. And I have my whiteboard up here, so I'll be referring to that. I'll be standing, maybe flipping the chart. I have a few pages here, but this is an area living into a new health identity that a lot of us, until I got into the coaching atmosphere many years ago, I didn't really think of my self concept or my identity. And that really means of how we identify our skills, our qualities, our characteristics. It's who we are. It's our identity and our self concept of ourselves. And for many people, you may think, well, I am who I am and I can't change. And, and that's not true. We actually can change for the better or for the worse. This idea when we're coaching is we want to really coach into and become aware of our self concept of ourselves, our identity of who we are. And in this particular case, we're talking about our health identity, who we think we are, what we think we can do, what the possibilities are. And after working with people for numerous years on their health goals, this is an area that I think is an obstacle for people. That once they understand the concept, and I'm hoping that through this conversation today and this teaching that I'll be able to share how you can approach changing and living into a new health identity. So if you have had goals in your if you've had goals, and of course people who are part of the program have been working towards their health goals, they may not have not seen results. And what I'd like them to do is look at, well, how is their health identity? Like what is going on in the health identity? And we'll go through some different questions and fine tune some of that today. All right, so what I want to start with is you can see here that when we live into a new health identity or when we want to change our health, I've really determined that there's three main areas and a process. So one is we need to really identify what are the specific health problems. So some of them that I'll share on the next page, you may be experiencing, but it may not be on the page. But just know that there's overall, well, I feel unhealthy or I'm not as healthy as I want to be, but we really want to specify what is the specific health problem. And then what I find is that people have a certain idea of where their obstacle lies, like what is in their way of them reaching this goal of improving that problem and addressing the problem. So we'll go over the obstacles. And the third is that here in this class, I'll be talking about the solution in living into a new health identity. All right, so the first one is, like, let's just talk about some health problems, specific health problems. The first being, it's sort of all encompassing. It's when you go to the doctor and you have high cholesterol, you have high blood pressure, you have diabetes or pre-diabetes. Those are health problems that you want to address. It could be that you have a disease or the beginning stages of a disease. Of course, the ones above here, I could also put in that you may be higher in weight than what is ideal. So that's a specific problem. Disease, maybe the beginning stages of dementia or your concern for developing dementia. Another health problem is you're just feeling tired and fatigued and there's brain fog and you just feel blah. Another health problem is you're overreactive in emotions. You're not managing your emotions. So that means that you're stressed. The health problem is you know that you are experiencing more stress. You're not managing your stress well. And number six, one of them is could be physically, you don't like how you fit into clothes. You don't like the extra jiggle under the arms or around the waist or in the legs, or you just don't like how your body is feeling as far as putting on that coat. It's a little tighter, and that is a valid concern for people. It could also be that you can't walk upstairs or you can't walk the distance that you used to, that you feel the cracks in the knees and the hips. Well, that happens as we age, but you just physically are not able to do what you have wanted to do. So those are all valid health problems, and everybody will have something that will resonate with them. It could be something smaller or something bigger. So that's important, is that we want to identify our health problems. Now we also want to look at, and what I found in the in the years of me working with people, that the obstacles go into three main areas. There's that people have obstacles because of their skill level, because of their mindset, and because of of the tools. So let me specify. So for skills, it's that they people don't know how to regulate their nervous system. That they're, when I mentioned that they could be overreactive, is that they emotionally are dysregulated, physically dysregulated, and they don't have the skills to manage it. There also could be that an obstacle is people don't have skills to go into a gym and start working out. They don't have the knowledge of what is the plan that I should be following for my nutrition. There's confusion. Maybe it's they may know, but there's confusion because isn't there, everybody has an opinion of what workout we should do, what kind of nutrition plan we should do. So it keeps us in this confusion. The other obstacle is our mindset. And this, in with all of these obstacles, coaching helps you address all of these areas. For mindset, some people, and well, for most people, I would say most people, and I am included in that, because even though I'm a coach, I manage my mindset, and it's sneaky because it will come up where I'm feeling unmotivated, I procrastinate, I self-sabotage, I give up. So those all, we think that it's maybe a skill level. Maybe it has a little bit to do with our skills and our tools, but it's our ability to manage our mindset. And using our creation cycle, that's really where we manage our mindset and we become aware of how we're thinking. We become aware of, the reason I'm procrastinating is I have a certain thought and a feeling of how I'm approaching this health problem. Now, a third obstacle could be the tools. And for many people, it is that. It's being able to manage your time management, poor time management. People need the tools to manage their time. They need the tools to create consistency. So if your obstacle is that you're not consistent in a workout or a nutrition plan or following something guidelines that your physician has given you, that consistency is you don't have the tools yet in order to implement. In the program, there's a few habit trackers or a couple of habit trackers that are available to you. Habit tracking is a awesome way to overcome it's a tool that helps you to overcome this obstacle of not having the tools. Also, it could be that you don't have the habits and routines set up. You don't have the tools set up yet. So when you're thinking of your health goal, think, is your obstacle, is the thing getting in the way related to your skills? Is it related to your mindset, or is it related to the tools that you need? Okay. So just keep that in mind. Now that's it. That's it for those pages. I'm just going to read off of my presentation or my class notes here, because I was going to put them all on the board, but ran out of time to put everything up on the whiteboard. So this is where you grab your pen and paper. I know some of you already have it handy, because now we're getting into, let's talk about what is a health goal that you have in mind. I'm going to switch back to this first page where I gave some ideas, some health problems. You want to get very specific with your health problem. Not just, I want to get healthy, but do you want to improve some of your blood level values? That was me. A month and a half ago, high cholesterol. I implemented a natural food and natural supplements and lowered my cholesterol almost 70 points, my LDL. And I'm still working on lowering that. Of course, I will be, I'm managing it. So managing it, being aware of it, but that is my specific health goal. Do you have something about brain fog, um, overreaction, maybe emotional regulation, stress management? So write down what is your health goal, just whatever comes to mind. You don't have to have this be the goal that you're setting for the rest of the year, but just think of, okay, for what do I really want to improve? What will have the biggest impact? So if write that down. Then I'd like you to think of, what are the reasons, what are the obstacles that you don't think you could achieve that goal? So again, we'll go back to this obstacles. Think of, well, it's because I'm procrastinate too much. I'm not consistent. Is it that I have difficulty managing my stress and I just get set off of my routine? And maybe you're irritated all the time by everything and you just can't stay focused. So just spend a moment here. I'll give you like around 30 seconds. Just jot down a couple of ideas. Maybe it's you work long hours, you don't have the time. Maybe you want to join a gym, but you can't join a gym at this time. So just write down whatever is tangible, or maybe how you're feeling about this goal. Okay, so just take another half a minute to finish writing some of those obstacles. I think I'm going to go back to writing on here. I feel like I want to write on the page. All right. So now that this isn't where it ends, this is just knowledge. It's awareness, which is good. You want to be aware of what are the obstacles that are getting in your way and just face them. Okay. Now what we're going to do is think about someone who you admire, or that you look up to, or that you maybe use as an example of that you would like to have just a portion of their health. Like someone who you look up to, or even if it's not, if you can't think of somebody, think of your future self and what they've accomplished for their health. Okay. So think of that person and write down think of somebody. I'm going to give you questions. All right. As you're thinking of it, what qualities do they have that you need to develop? So when you're thinking of somebody who has a healthy lifestyle, is it that they prioritize their health because they have they use a tracker? Maybe they may or may not, we may or may not know, but they wake up early. Maybe they prioritize um having a fridge full. Okay, so their qualities, I'm sort of getting into some of their actions, but the qualities they have is they prioritize their health. They don't take excuses. They don't look at obstacles as a way of getting in the way of their workout. When I was away this weekend visiting family, and my idea of, okay, living into a healthy lifestyle, this person takes their bag, their supplement bag, everything's in there. That's what I did. I brought my own breakfast because I have oatmeal. I have a mixture that I like to have in the morning for my cholesterol. So I do that. The qualities are, I don't have to ask for permission to someone. I don't have to eat what they're eating. The grilled cheese, the croissants, the muffins. I'd like to, but my quality is that I prioritize my health and my quality that I have as a healthy lifestyle. Like, think of what it is that the person you're thinking of, what are they doing? Number two, how do they think differently? Well, one, I sort of gave that example, thinking differently, like, I don't have to eat this to make someone feel better. So, when you go and visit people and they make something and you feel obligated, well, of course, I mean, it's all within reason, but sometimes it's like over, like there's so much. So, you don't have to, like, this thinking, how does this person, this healthy person think? They think differently, is that they don't eat just to make the other person feel better. It's like, oh, you made this and whatever. I mean, I could take a little bite of it, but I don't have to eat the whole thing. So how do they think differently than you? How do they just think of, like, because even though I'm going on vacation, or even though I'm changing my environment, I'm still going to get my workout in. I found a gym. There was a gym where I was staying, but I went to my Planet Fitness. That's why I have a Planet Fitness membership, because I can use it anywhere in North America. Okay. Number three, this healthy future person, what do they do that's different than what you do? What are their actions? And this is really where I sort of put in some of the tracker. It's okay if you have like actions with qualities and that, but they wake up, a morning routine. They have an evening routine. They don't spend all this time consuming. They do. So not consume a ton of, like, TV. Number four, what type of person do you need to become to accomplish the goal that you have set? So when you're thinking, you sort of take all of these, and what type of person do you need to become? When you're looking at that health goal, what you're doing right now, if you're not at the health goal that you want to be at, what you're doing right now is not working. So we need to really look at, okay, what is this person doing right now? What are they thinking? What are they feeling? How are they acting right now? And what I'm saying is that this, from where you are right now, this little person, this is you, okay? This is now. You want to get to the person, big smile, who has that, we'll just put a no smile kind of thing. In the future, this is the health person that you want. You're looking up to be. This is you in the future. What are the actions? How do you have to think? How do you have to live in order to get there? This is what we're talking about. Okay, this is where this is where the work is. And this is where we have to figure out, okay, is it that, yeah, I determined that this person is doing a morning routine, managing their time, overcoming procrastination. They're doing all of those things. How are they doing it? It's because they have the tools, they have the skills, and they have the mindset. And that's what the coaching is all about. So, creating a new version of yourself, you have to have this goal. And in the program, there is the vision and goal setting workshop, but there, and I have different questions that some of you have gone through where you've created the vision. And then what we need to do is fill in the blanks. So look back now at the list of reasons, your obstacles of why you can't reach the goal. Now, this is going to be really helpful. So go back to, you wrote down your goal, and then you wrote down maybe a few obstacles. For each of those obstacles, so let's say it's that I don't have this, like the skill, I'm confused on where to start. Now, what I want you to do is ask yourself, as your future self, how did I overcome each of these obstacles? So if my obstacle is confusion, I don't know where to start. I don't have the right skills. There's so much information out there. I want to change too many things. How did I overcome this obstacle? Is I picked a plan. So for me, with my cholesterol, I could have said, okay, there's so many things I can do. What am I going to do? I picked a plan and it had 20. Well, it's not necessarily 20. There's 10 things that are done every day, supplements and food. And I committed to that. I got rid of that confusion, but I said to myself, this was a month and a half ago, this is the plan. I am not going to go on and Google search another little supplement that people have said maybe CoQ10 works, maybe this works. Niacin, I've even heard people will say niacin. You got to be careful taking that though, because of it changes some levels in the body. I ignored that. I picked a plan that I had a book that I've been recommending to my patients for a long time. And I followed that. I got rid of that's how I overcame that obstacle. So what is your obstacle? And how are you going to overcome each of the obstacles? What is the strategy that you will use? Now, this is something that after this call, you'll have to spend some time. Come up with, this is the obstacle, this is what I'm going to do. The brain needs to have very specific, this is what I'm going to do, back and forth. Okay, now that may be challenging for you to do. This is where coaching can really help. This is where coaching can guide you and help you, ask you questions to figure out, well, what is the solution? It's not that I give you the solutions, I give you options, but I encourage you to think of, well, what could you do? Because you have the answer, it's in you. You just are maybe overthinking the confusion. You spent so much time thinking that you're not able to change and do things. Okay, so that is how we look at the obstacles and overcoming the obstacles. But we always come back to coaching ourselves. We can either live on default mode or we can live an intentional mode. And intentional thought creation, that's really what I encourage people to do. We're living on purpose. By living on purpose, it means that you're determined to live by standards that you set, not default. Okay, not the default standards. So, living into a new health identity. Your new health identity is the one that you've determined when you look at that person in the future and you've said, this is this person. And it's something you have to think about it for a while. Like you have to think of like, okay, this person is doing this X, Y, and Z. This person is prioritizing water. This person is simplifying. She's not over consuming. He's not trying everything under the sun. The person is very specific in their health. And when you're living into a new health identity, remember that it comes down to your skills, your mindset, and the tools. Those three have to be overhauled. And usually it's not all three. Sometimes it is, but you pick out where is it that you don't have the skills, you don't have the mindset, you don't have the tools. When you pick that out, then you can determine what are the ways that I can overcome this. And then you implement. And implementation requires this intentional thought creation. It means that every day you're intentionally thinking, this is what I'm thinking, this is what I'm doing today. Because what happens, it's almost like the brain has amnesia. We will make these plans today on Monday, and by tomorrow you may wake up and go, what am I doing? Like what? Oh, it's too hard. I can't do that. Because it does take a while to change things. It takes a while, but it actually can be sped up. You can do it quicker when you have the right tools and when you have the coaching and when you really stay on it. And that's why I teach everyone the creation cycle. How you're thinking, how you're feeling creates your action. When we looked at that future person, we're looking at what are they thinking? What are they doing? And you mimic that. And it's okay to borrow anything maybe that you've been inspired that I've said. I borrow from people all the time, other coaches. And also I want to just end with standards. What are your current standards? What are you tolerating for your health? Do you like your standards? And are they connected to your goals? So current standards could be, well, I'm just, I'm eating 3 meals a day, or maybe I'm eating 2 meals. I'm okay for my sleep, but I'm not really prioritizing it. I don't have a ton of energy, but I'm okay with my standard of just staying up till midnight and waking up at 9 or 10. I'm okay with this is my standard. And this is no judgment. This is no judgment on anybody, but just to be aware of if your standard is that, then we need to look at, and you have a different goal, and it doesn't, your goal is to prioritize sleep and to improve your health, then staying up late and sleeping in, unless you have a job that requires that of you, we have to look at, okay, what is the new standard? So let's look at your future self, the new standard. I'm going to share some of mine. There is always a way. I'm living an extraordinary life. Failure does not stop me. Negative emotions don't stop me. I love to learn and grow. Another standard, I don't take no for an answer. And I mentioned there's always a way. I surround myself with beauty and excellence. So my standard, if you asked me 10 years ago, didn't have some of those. I was tolerating a certain standard. So when we want to have a new new health identity, we look at, okay, what am I tolerating? Am I tolerating having a bunch of snacky foods in the cupboard, which I know myself, I cannot have chips. I love potato chips. I cannot have potato chips. My standard is not there. I will not tolerate chips. I put them someplace else. They're hidden. Actually, I don't buy them. So think of it that way. That can be very helpful. Now, if this resonated with you, book a coaching consult with me. For those of you who are in the program, of course you're part of the program, but if you're not, book a coaching consult with me. This is where we talk about your health problem. We talk about where you're getting stuck and how I can help you, how coaching can help you, and the programs that I offer. And it's not a commitment for anything. It's just information. It may be the start of you prioritizing and moving forward in something in your life. So what I hope that you'll do is take the information. You'll see an email later and for that booking the consult. And thank you for everyone who was able to come on. And I will see you at a updated time. All right. Bye-bye.